Aye.
Okay, this is the Diamond Regional Vocational District Committee meeting for October 10th, 2024. Need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Here.
Mr. Beegan,
Here.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Here.
Ms. Menard,
Here.
Dr. Nara,
Yes.
Mr. Pacheco.
Okay, we have a quorum. In accordance to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, any member of the public who wishes to make the audio or video recording of this public meeting, a member of the public who wishes to record the meeting must first notify the chair and must comply with the reasonable requirements regarding audio or video equipment established by the chair as not to interfere with the meeting. Is anybody recording?
Mr. Manos.
All right, pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need approval of the minutes for September 5th. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I need a motion to approve the September 12th, 2024 minutes.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. September 26th, 2024 minutes. Need approval?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 1.4, we have a student recognition.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I'm very proud to have with us tonight a young man here from Diamond Regional. His name is Benjamin Coville. He's with his mom and his granddad here tonight. And I want to just tell you a little bit about him. If you could bring that up for me, Helena. Ben was involved in a very serious situation. And if you don't know his background, Ben is he's a member of the, Ben, you correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Is it junior firefighters? Okay, of the junior firefighters, first of all, he's a Diamond student, and you are in the Edward program. Carpentry. And he loves carpentry, but this is the story that appeared in the paper, and that has been right there. His story goes like this, and he was at the 99 restaurant here in Fall River, and there was someone there apparently choking on food. Now, Ben is, as you can see, he wants to be a firefighter. He's a member of the Junior Firefighter League over in Somerset. He sprang into action, asked the young lady through signals whether or not she was okay or not, signaled no, that she was choking. And Ben, why don't you take the story from there? Because it's your story.
Yeah, so she was choking and I just kind of saw that and recognized that and I got up and I from the Heimlich maneuver like we did in training and she was all right.
Saved your life?
He saved, yeah, he's being modest. If you take a look there, he saved her life. Ben also is, we have mentioned him several times to our faculty meeting here and opening day. Very proud and kind of brag on him quite a bit. He sprang into action without any prompting, by the way. He just recognized it and sprang into action. He's also being most recently, at the end of this month, not recently, he's going to be recognized in the city of New York. And I'll let his mom describe that one because I know she's proud about that.
Someone nominated him and I received an email from a girl up in New York who does the first responder day. And he's going to receive the first junior firefighter hero award.
Speaking of that, Ben, we would very much like, if you would, and Mr. DiBiaseu, he's a Somerset resident, so I would have you do this, but let me read it before we present it. It says, Benjamin Coville, in recognition of your bravery and selfless act, you inspire us all. Your dedication to helping others has left an indelible mark on our hearts and community. Thank you for being a beacon of hope and a true hero. Courage, integrity, and sacrifice presented October 10th, 2024 from the Greater Fall River Vocational School District Committee. But I will, so there, Mr. DiBiaseu, let me step out of the way. As this is coming from the committee to Ben recognizing his heroic efforts.
Go ahead, Grebs. Get in there. That over him.
I'm just gonna hold on. That's just not right. You've got to get in there. That's just not right. me take it right from here. No, you're fine, let's go around.
All right, Van.
So we're gonna take several of these. Yeah, that's good. All right, ready? Everybody on smile, 1, 2, at least 3. And let's go second again. 1, 2, nice picture.
That's for my wide lens.
There we are, yeah. And
The master
And
was
here we
part
are.
of the
I think you're getting used to
Yeah,
smiling at the camera.
Thank you.
Listen, congratulations, keep up all your great work, you truly are a hero.
Thank you, parents.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good job, Ben.
Good job.
You're very welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting. We have cookies.
I found him. This building wasn't here when I came here.
Then,
Ben,
Okay.
I want you to get out. I don't want you to get outside and drop. There we are. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
you're right. You're right. I'm good.
No.
We all should know how to do that.
All right, moving on to 1.5, citizens input. Do we have anybody signed up? Okay, it's 2.1, assistant superintendent principal position selection. Discussion, vote if necessary.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to offer the assistant superintendent principal position to Mrs. Leslie Weckeser.
I'll second that.
We get a second. Okay, all in favor?
I,
Roll call on that, yeah.
she did an amazing job.
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Yes.
Ms. Menard,
Yes.
Dr. Nara,
Yes.
Mr. Pacheco.
And that's gonna be subject to
Contract.
successful contract negotiations, which I will contact
Yes, sir.
Ms. Weckeser
Yes, sir.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tell her to set something up to do that. And we'll discuss those terms of reference in executive session.
Thank you.
We did have 2 candidates and we interviewed them and they both did a
They were both
good job.
Yeah, they'll both do a good job.
Great. Next, 3.1, MSBA School Building Committee.
Tonight I have Greg from Gus Boots and Tim from Colliers, our management company, and our architect that are here this evening. And they're going to go over an update, and then we have some additional information that we'd like to go over with this committee for a possible vote afterwards. Turn that over to.
Okay, thanks, Don. So as far as an update goes, construction moving along well. The steel, obviously, as you can see, as you walk around the building, is going up. They've just recently moved the crane to a second location, so there'll be 6, I think, sequences as they work their way around the building. So we're just beginning sequence number 2. That allows them to now have workers in the sequence 1 without the crane work above overhead. So they'll be able to bring in other trades. So you'll start to see more activity on site. Certainly the number of workers on site per day will increase. But things are moving along well. I don't know if anything specific, Greg, I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, as Tim summarized, you'll see things go really fast, pretty quickly. And then as we get out of steel erection, which is a pretty quick set of sequences, it looks like it gets very big very quickly. And then as kind of the more detailed work starts, it'll look like it slows down a bit. It doesn't, just like the early phases, there was a lot going on just kind of below the ground that you didn't see. Now we're really at the kind of exciting part where you get very large very quickly. As erection starts going kind of toward the south across the building, slabs will start to be poured. The slabs are then poured. The building envelope will start to go in with stud wall on the exterior primarily. That stuff will start to get wrapped in, and hopefully by the time we're toward the winter, we can start to enclose some areas, protect from weather. This winter will be primarily all exposed to the elements, and they'll work through that. coming into next summer, you'll start to see much more framing and kind of the building envelope and close. So we're at a really exciting point in the progress of the work. People get to see things now, other than foundation wall and dirt. So it's very exciting. But a lot going on, still down on that lower level where you can't really see it. But based on just kind of the site constraints and how this site is set up, there's great view from the circulation road, from the restaurant, from the cafeteria into the construction site. So surely an exciting time for students to kind of see what's going on and working, the three firms, Colliers, KBA, and Suffolk. We take opportunities to invite students down into the site, or teachers who are really interested down into the site at the right moments, and allow them to see kind of the future of their building, the future of their industry, and an opportunity to get excited, particularly for those students who are never going to actually get to be in the building. So it's a really exciting time, and we're excited to share the update.
Yeah, it's getting there. Like I said, it's getting big really quick.
Yeah, it gets really big really quick, and then we'll feel like it'll slow down a little bit, but it does. It's not. It's just how it like looks from the inside.
It just seemed like the site work took forever.
I have to say, working with this company has been a pleasure. They have been so responsive, so helpful. Of course, he's a Somerset guy. Shakespeare School.
That always helps me with.
It always helps. But everybody has been so cooperative, trying to work together, and when there were some little problems, we've been working, and it's good. Yeah.
Okay, great. Moving on, we lost Mr. DiBiasio, but we're going to be talking about the project funding and agreement increase.
It's okay.
He's just making a copy of what was presented to the communities the other day. There he is.
I apologize. This broke it down very good. This is what we went over with the mayor and the town administrators. So this kind of broke it down pretty good for
Thank you.
what they're going to discuss with us.
Very nice.
Okay, do you have yours? Do you have yours?
You have one, Greg?
Do you have
No,
yours?
but that's okay. I know it.
Do you know it? You need one?
Let's do it.
Anybody else need one?
Just like really say thank you.
There you go. Lane, yours, your piece is in the
Just
copy
start coffee
machine.
with them sometime.
Thank you, sorry.
Who would like to
This is beautiful.
start out?
So, as we all know, and I'm going to have to turn it over to Greg and Tim, but as you all know, we found a groundbreaking with Joan's friend, the state treasurer, and the chairman of the MSBA, along with Senator Rodericks, all made a statement that with inflation, we're going to be helping the projects that were caught by inflation. So with that, there was money made to all the projects that were in, that some were just in the starting stages, others were in, like we are, or Bristol Plymouth and others. So even Somerset, which also benefited from this. So anyway, so they did come through what they said they were going to do, and the $360 a square foot that we were originally told we were going to get from the MSBA was pushed up to $425 a square foot, which gave Diamond Regional an additional $22 million. So now, to use that money, or any part of that money, we had to go back to this committee. The building committee's already approved the articles, but this committee is the committee that's basically the whole district is carrying this note. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to who would like to start. Tim?
Yeah, just, so the MSBA is essentially giving more reimbursement for the project. The way they do that is through basically the square footage, so it's based on square foot, eligible square foot cost. And so you'll remember when we were going through design and we had our budget and there was a tremendous escalation for that period of time where we locked in with the MSBA at the end of schematic design, project funding agreement, tremendous escalation. So when we got into construction documents and we're estimating the costs, we had some significant overruns or estimated to be overruns. So we had to really go through, do some value management, take some things out of the project, alter some things in the project. And so as Mr. DiBiasio said, that there's the treasurer at the groundbreaking said, you know, we want to give you guys some money to put these things back. But some of these communities had to take things out and we want to try and make it right as best we can. So they've offered this additional reimbursement. So we're not going to be able to, at this point, it would be hard to make changes to use all this additional reimbursement, but we want to at least put in what we can. And so what that does is we're looking to put in about $11.7 million in additional costs. So that's going to raise the total project budget from $293.4 million up to $305.2 million.
Just to clarify what Tim is saying, basically the stuff that's been added is items that we took out of the project when we were, how much, Greg?
About $50 million.
$50 million over the budget. So instead of us back then going back to communities, which we would have loved to have done, but we know that the communities are all stretched. So we stayed within our budget of total 293.7. So when this money became available, the building committee, along with our architect and management company, looked at what we had taken out. Obviously, square footage is the biggest part of it. We can't put it back. You know, we just, unfortunately, our design is our design. It's already been accepted, and we have to live with the square footage loss that we took with this new building, which offended me all the way through. So I cried a lot. So anyways, so what Greg has done is, if you turn to, what's the last page here? So if you go to, we'll skip over this page right now, Greg, and we'll go to potential scope, add it back to the project. So Greg, you'd like to go over the scope?
Yeah, so we broke this list down, as Don described, in a way that was easily digestible by the building committee, who had gone through the value management process with us when we took those things out. So things are categorized under the same category where they were removed, they're put back in. So the formatting is a little odd because it falls under basically a standard construction industry formatting, where you start with lowest level of construction and you work your way up through the buildings in systems, essentially. So we've put back in things, or at least dollars for things that were taken out at the time of value management, with a couple minor exceptions. So a couple examples of that were cantilever pipe racks for some shops, vertical granite curbing out in the parking lot, right? We took a less costly, less durable asphalt berm in most places, except for some select areas, to try to save that dollars. Again, cutting $50 million out of a $290 million project is a pretty tall task. And it took basically every mechanism we had within our power to do that, including the district looking at internal sources for buying equipment or other things outside of the project budget. So this proposal on the presentation looks to add back in those things that we think are achievable at this point. That being said, it is a estimate of what we think they are valued at today. If we were going to go procure them, we've put in some contingencies and things like that, to make sure that we're properly budgeting and planning. But the list is really something to generate a dollar value to go back and ask for additional funds. A guideline for what we add back into the project as we go through those additional funds. We feel pretty confident we'll be able to get all these things back in. But, you know, as we go and get pricing for them and really go to contract those specific items, things might shift a little bit, but this is a pretty accurate list of the things we think we can put in at this point.
So just to, I mean, obviously $11 million is just pipe racks and other items that we cut out of the shop, all that built up into something. But the big items that we had cut out at the time, some we've been able to put back in, but is the turf on the football field, the baseball and softball fields getting done, being redone, putting lighting onto the baseball and softball fields, because it's a multi-use field. It's not, the softball field is multi-use for our soccer, which we have 6 soccer teams. So those are things. Solar panels, which will on the roof, that'll help us eventually save some money in our electrical costs. Since we did go with geothermal, this is an alternate way of getting some money back, because we know our electric bill is going to double in the new school with all those pumps running. So hopefully not, but it will. So with that, these are, if anybody has any questions on the project list that we have here.
This is so good.
Okay.
So glad you could put this
So,
stuff back.
If you go to your, next page, there's 2 pages that are very important to this project. And the first, page shows the difference in the money. So if we were to use an additional, what's the total, 11 million? $11.7 million. It brings us from 293, 479, 760 to 305, 213, 446. Now, if you look to the next over the estimated cost of reimbursement in the MSBA, and then you see the 132 million compared to if you go up to the top 144, the percentage is at 43. The new percentage, go ahead, Greg.
Of district costs.
District cost.
So the cost your communities are paying has reduced from 49% to 43%.
43%.
So even though we're adding $11.7 million to the budget, because you're getting almost double that in extra reimbursement,
Right.
the overall cost to the district is going down. So you're adding scope and at a reduced cost.
Because this also included, if Mr. Kitchen just walked out, but it's a $2 million from his.
Maybe if this one.
So this doesn't include the additional $2 million worth of capital skills grant money that will likely is also being applied to the construction costs. So this is a fairly conservative look at the finances. Once you add that in, the numbers actually come out much better for the districts in the MSBA in that case. But
Greg, do you want to explain to the board and the public really quickly that originally that capital skills grant, if we put it into the project, we would get it deducted from our grant. Now they've changed that and we can use it, so it's another savings.
It's an excellent point, Greg. So originally MSBA, before this escalation period, since essentially their founding, has had a policy where if a district went out and was able to secure outside funds other than their local shares, donations or anything of the like, that the MSBA would take back their portion of the grant for that. And in your case, with an 80% reimbursement, if you got $2 million dedicated to construction from the Mass Capital Skills Grant Program, as you did, they would take back 80% of their grant funding to offset that. So your $2 million grant would net you about $200,000. So an issue when you're doing a project, a really big issue when you're doing a project in a time period where we have this really hyperinflated escalation. So through some talk with MSBA, through the legislative delegations, pushing MSBA and through MSBA recognizing this escalation problem that they were trying to help districts solve, they changed their policy. So a policy that they'd had for about 16 years to now allow those outside grants to be eligible or just to not take back their portion of those outside grants, knowing that districts were struggling with their finance. So kind of a categorical shift in how they approach outside dollars coming into projects. So you can now utilize that money without essentially being penalized by the MSBA for their portion of that grant. So kind of two really big wins from the MSBA's side of things. They really took this problem seriously, I think, and looked for ways that they could help districts and local communities deal with these escalation issues.
So finishing up on this, so what Greg just said, the 43%, the 43% now is a good thing for the city of Fall River, because the city of Fall River, we were around 53% as Tim a few months ago told the mayor they'd have. Now they're gonna have around 57%. So it stays away from that below 50% that they were worried about. So it's be 57. So if you look at the next area, it shows that the city of Fall River, if you look at the bottom line, with us not using all the money, obviously, it's going to the town's share gets reduced by Fall River, $9,718,682. This town of Somerset is $1,245,008. Swansea is at $1,067,149, and town of Westport, is $673,320. So this is not costing our towns anymore. If we had used, if we were able to put all of it back in, it would have stayed the same. But obviously, square footage can be put back in. So 12 million is going back to the community. So we didn't use all of our money that was given. So it's a savings. It's not costing the towns anything or the city. It's actually going to save them money over the period of this bond. Does anybody have any questions with that?
No.
Okay.
I think we're good. When you're saving money, it's always a good thing.
Yes, it is a good thing.
Mr. McGill, you also may want to do for the public that meetings have taken place with the towns and the city to keep them abreast of this even before this vote tonight. So they're well aware of it.
We had a meeting, several meetings with the 3 different towns and the city of Fall River and their team. And we explained this whole packet that you just saw. This is a PowerPoint that Greg and Tim had done up, and they both went over the PowerPoint with them and answered any of their questions. So the town administrators and the mayor is aware of this. And after our vote tonight, we'll be setting up meetings to go before the select boards. And
What was their reaction, John?
very positive.
Okay.
It's, like we had a couple of years ago, Paul remembers when we were going to the different communities looking for votes, and overwhelming support for Diamond. All 4 communities love Diamond, and they know what they do, and they know they're gonna get more with this new school because of more technology that the students will be learning. So everybody is very happy with it.
Very good. All right, the recommendation is to approve the project funding agreement increase as submitted.
Are we gonna have to read it through this, or is this just for the vote for them, Greg?
I would make reference to that's going to become part of the record, for sure.
Yeah.
The one that, I know there's something came down today, which one are we recommending, Tim? The one that's.
right there. Just the additional funding.
The
of
11
that.
that, right? The one we chose at the beginning, okay.
Yes.
Just make specific mention that language is going to become part of the record if you're not going to read the whole thing.
Right, so Mr. Chairman, what was outlined to us from our management company that was approved by the MSBA, the Greater Fall River Vocational District Committee hereby appropriates a bill amount of $11,733,686 for the purpose of paying costs of designing, engineering, conducting, and equipping of the new Diamond Regional Vocational Technical High School and related athletic fields located at 251 Stonhaven Road. So,
All right,
That's
So-
what it says in the total will take.
and the new total will be 305,213.46.
4%.
Yes.
446, sorry. Took my eyes to look at you.
Just so we get.
446. Get that later, 305-213-446 would be the, what we're voting on this evening.
And Helena, the entire vote will be made part of the record.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Want a roll call on that?
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yeah. Here, yes.
Ms. Menard,
Yes.
Dr. Nara.
Yes.
Okay. We're good to go.
No bill from Suffolk as well?
It came in late.
Yeah.
Not lately, it's in the packet.
Oh, it's in the packet, okay.
It's in the-
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna read the amount then if you want, with the other expenditures if you wish.
Okay. So, moving on to MSBA, project expenditures, Mr. Kitchen.
Expenditures for August, from Colliers is $142,228.10. KBA for. September. I think it's month of August.
No, it's.
Is it for the month of September? It's 130,389.20. There is a listing on the agenda for Yankee Engineering also. The backup is not here, but that amount is $19,612.50. As I just mentioned, the AIA for Suffolk came in. It's on your desk and on the table for $4,549,871.67.
I need a motion to approve the expenditures as
Motion made.
presented. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And just to keep this committee updated, Greg and Tim, and along with Suffolk and the building committee next month will be going over the total project cost. So we'll, that's gonna we have to get that going and get that done for the MSBA. I guess they've been asking for the GMP.
Yeah, so the GMP, will be the agreement with the contractor of what the guaranteed maximum price is. And they've been going through the buyout process of buying out different trade packages. We're at a point now where we're pretty far along in that process, and we'll be finalizing that, hopefully we'll have a draft in the next couple of weeks. And we'll start to review that and negotiate any review and negotiate, come to an agreement to then bring it forward. And we'll go through the building committee and then bring it to this week.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else you guys want to add? Or-
Thanks.
All right, keep plugging.
All right.
Great job.
Good job.
Thank you. You want to get out of here while the going's good?
3.1 on the matters, personnel, Mr. Bentley.
Yes, you see before the committee, personnel appointments that have come down to fill various positions within the building. These are mostly after school or extended day positions, tutorial positions for students who have been ill. Majority of these are, except for some of them at the top, are taken out of grants that are already written and budgeted for. The addition to our building is Patricia Vitello, the bookkeeper, who is taking the place of Colette DeGagny, who recently retired. And you do see, I want to point out Brandon Silva as a custodian, because you'll see his name on the paper coming up, that he has been hired as a custodian to fill that spot. And all the others are just for the committee's information.
Very good. Thank you.
On the next page, you do see resignations. Stacy Boulder from the cafeteria, and we have advertised for that. Brandon Silva did resign. He was the storekeeper, but he resigned in order to take the position that was advertised as custodian. Then,
Advisory board?
yeah, the advisory board, we do have the recommendations here of Joseph Dennis, metal fabrication and welding, 5 years experience. Justin Fortier, automotive technology, a Diamond graduate, 2003, 20+ years experience. John Fatoma, automotive collision, 3+ years experience, and he's a general manager in the trade. Michael Mosier of advanced manufacturing is a 2024 graduate, He is also a CNC 5-axis programmer at a company where he was a co-op student. He rolled it over to a permanent job. He's also a gold medal winner in 5-axis. And David De Silva, carpentry and cabinet making, 73 Brad, and he is the vice president of architectural product division. The recommendation to this committee is to appoint Joseph Dennis, Justin Fortier, John Fatoma, Mike Mosher, and Dave Sylvia to the advisory board of the identified programs for a term of 3 years.
Need a motion
Motion
to,
made.
need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Bentley, I have just one question on that. Is there a cap on how many advisory board members there are?
No.
No?
No, it's open and continuous and it's growing. Advanced manufacturing is proof of that machine shop program. We walked down the other night and saw that they had to have had 8 people there at least. That was one. Machine shop.
Machine shop, yeah, that-
About 8 to 10.
There was other, I mean, auto mechanics had a full room, auto body had a full room.
Electronics, so no, there is no cap.
Carpentry.
Okay. Good. 3.1, administrative assistant to the superintendent
Yes,
principal.
with the resignation of the prior administrative assistant to the assistant principal, superintendent principal, it was advertised, there were interviews that were conducted in Mr. Kitchen, Mrs. Neves and Mrs. Torres with a team. They then recommended, and I have talked with her since, Ms. Stacy Lane as the administrative assistant to be the assistant superintendent to the assistant superintendent principal, and there will be a contract that has been put forth. She has accepted the terms of that. It's a 3-year commitment, so it does need the board approval.
So we're not going to executive session, it's in executive session.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to look at it, before we approve something.
I know, that's what I'm saying, so.
Yeah, so that's what we done that.
So the recommendation, we can just hold that.
We'll just come back
Sure.
after the executive session.
I'm saying, I wasn't sure.
All right, D, student travel.
A couple of them before the board tonight. One is from the DECA Club. It submitted an after-hour student travel request for students to attend the DECA Celtics night in Boston on November the 19th. And the recommendation.
Sure they want to go see the Celtics?
Hey, that's, yes.
But the recommendation is to approve the after-hour student travel request.
Need a motion to approve?
Motion made.
Need a second? All in favor? Aye.
Right.
And the second one is for the International Club. Just to read the dates carefully, that this is for the trip that they are planning for April of 2026. And it's going to be a World War II type of setting. They're going to visit sites in England, France, Belgium, Germany, and Austria.
I'll be retired, I think.
And the recommendation,
I'll go with that.
the recommendation is to approve the proposal submitted by the International Club.
Need a motion to
April of
approve?
26.
Motion made.
Need a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Information on that trip is included in your package.
We'll put that aside.
E, accepting of gifts.
A donation from Mr. David Lavassa has donated guitar parts to be used by students in the guitar club, and the recommendation is to accept his gracious donation of guitar parts.
Need a motion to accept.
Motion made.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
The next is Mr. John Humphrey of Barrington, Rhode Island. He's donated a 75-gallon direct vented natural gas heater with an estimated value of $2,800 and a water softening system, residential application, estimated value of $3,500 to the plumbing program. And the recommendation is to accept the donation from Mr. Humphrey of both of those items.
Need a motion to accept.
Motion made.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
And the next is Concord Electric Supply of Fall River. They've donated lighting supplies with an estimated value of $4,000 to the electricity program. The recommendation is to accept the donation from Concord Electric Supply of Fall River for the electricity program.
Need a motion to accept. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
F, theater club.
There's been a request from the Theater Club Arts advisor, Kathy Versa, because the club has expanded to in excess of 30 individuals. They have requested that a co-advisor be put on that. The contract does state that once it reaches a number over 20, an additional advisor will be added for any additional students. And I'm bringing it forward. That would be my recommendation, is to put that person on there. The
For
pay,
the DTA contract.
it's under the DTA contract.
All right, need a motion to approve.
Motion made.
Need a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Next is I was approached by a company called Project Takeoff. Project Takeoff is a company that deals with getting mostly 14 through 18-year-old most students, freshmen and sophomores, they like to concentrate on that, interested in the possibility of a career in aeronautics, in particular working on airplanes. All that they are requesting is that a survey be put out to see if anybody would be interested in it. They provide the instruction. They would need a room here at Diman to do that in. This is an 11-week program over the summertime to keep them interested and engaged in some type of a project. They work out of New Bedford Airport. I met with the person, Judith, the other day. She was very good at bringing out what they would do. They're trying to inspire the students to become involved in something that has multiple facets for them to go, including international travel. But she's looking at students who are very mechanically inclined, wanting to work on planes. We don't have that program here. It's on their time. They take care of the transportation. They take care of the instruction. They take care of everything. They're just looking for students. We would be the first school in the South Coast area that we come into to see if they can get this off the ground, no pun intended. The recommendation is to do this, see for a possible program.
For the 9th and the 10th grade.
It is 9 to 10. Their target group is 14, 15-year-olds. They don't want it to sound this way, but they'd rather not have seniors involved because they're probably not going to be interested because it's after they would graduate. It's this summer, right? It's the summer of 25.
All right, I need a motion to,
So moved.
need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Information on project takeoff is included in that.
This is amazing,
It is.
amazing. That's, to give them a chance to work on my brother-in-law made a career out of it for 45 years.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, moving on to H, monthly financial report, Mr. Kitchen.
The monthly financials are in your packet. There's nothing outstanding on it. I did have an opportunity to speak with the vendor that we have purchased 2 activity buses with. We do have a possibility of getting a third for this year. So one would be for carpentry and then 2 would be for athletics. You don't need your 70 license to drive them. They're 14 passengers with adequate spacing, and we actually carry a hitch on them too. So we have a possibility of picking up another one, just to make you aware of it.
We have the money,
It'll come in. I would like to think that it will be charged off to the extraordinary. once we close out.
I'm sorry, what?
It will be charged off to extraordinary. We will have enough funds for it,
Very
but
good.
it'll balance out some of our transportation issues.
So you'll be coming back to
Oh, yeah.
It'll be out next month, but
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to the chair before that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I, expenditures.
The expenditures are listed on memorandum for you. Voc Consulting, which is Dr. Roy for SPED services, Stewart Hospital, SPED services, Community Connections, again, SPED services for students that need counseling. The Dell Marketing is for staff computers. Dell Marketing is for additional Chromebooks, so we have a supply. I think Mr. Money voted 200 of them. More communications to finish off some of the infrastructure. Gecko Ford was a vehicle that we purchased out of Perkins for Voc-Tech. So therefore now they have a new Bronco and a new Kia to work on. That'll should level off Voc-Tech for a little bit, having 2 new vehicles and several old ones. Rice manufacturing is metal fabrication, I believe it is Midasur. All of these are coming from the Skills Capital Grant that they're working on. Richie is a power share. Richie again is a horizontal saw. And Ms. Kelly is consulting services for visual ed. Pareco Industries is advanced manufacturing. I believe that is a purifier for misting, for the metallic dust on some of the cutting. And then Wind Supply is equipment, multiple or various equipment for plumbing supply. And the last one is Advanced Technology. That is a Go Scan coming out of Perkins also. So basically what it'll do is it'll scan an object, it'll translate that into the CNC machine, and the CNC machine will make a duplicate.
I have a question.
Yeah.
These consulting, are those all for special ed kids or what are
Yeah.
they for?
Yeah, they're on special ed services. Roy will do evaluations. I believe Stewart and Community Connections are for out-of-school services. Counseling,
Counseling?
tutoring. I can get clarification for you, but
Yeah, I'm just sort of interested in.
Do we need to redo any contractual agreements now that it's no longer a Stewart facility?
I thought of that.
As of
Now,
October,
they-
right now it's lifespan, as of October 15th, it'll be Brown Health.
Yeah,
I'll look into that. Thank you.
Should we hold off on?
so,
the
either-
approval?
No, I think they're gonna transfer all their revenue and everything.
No.
Okay.
Their
I
books
was
are gonna be
just
transferred over.
interested that these kids are getting outside counseling.
Some do, yes.
Yeah.
It's, well, if it's a tutoring situation or if it's a medical placement, yes.
The counselors do come into the building and they see their clients on a some.
Oh, they come into the building
Yes,
too? Oh, okay.
Yes.
yes, we offer them space.
You have a question?
We did hire a school judgment counsel. There are other services that they provide.
Yeah,
These three independent.
Dr. Roy is evaluations only. Like he'll do educational program evals for like a IEP. They'll do a reevaluation, especially for new entry freshmen. They're required by statute.
I'm sorry, what is it?
They're required by statute to have
Yes.
an evaluation done every 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So he does the evaluations, contract out rather than having a psychologist on staff.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
Need a motion to approve the expenditures. Need a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? J, house building subcommittee. Actually, house building program.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to, Ms. Torres is still on.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Torres, if you'd like to come on first and tell us how they already have the walls up, roof on, and they're ready to close it in.
Sure, sounds good. We're making progress. The walls are built. They will probably erect their first wall tomorrow. So we're moving along, and in anticipation of a shortage of supplies, our electricity program has already purchased the generator with the transfer switch, and it's being housed at the supply company with our name on it, so we won't run into any delays with that. We're just waiting for the HVAC load calculations to finish up, and we're going to be doing the same thing with the heat pump, purchasing that and having the warehouse store it for us, so that again, we don't have any supply issues when the time comes to install that. Staying ahead of the game.
Awesome. Keep the, fingers crossed the weather stays great for us.
Yes.
On the projects, anything new that we need to know, Maria? This is more or less the same stuff that we've had.
No, the only thing that you just need to be aware of is the Pottersville Field chain link fences that house the dugouts. There's just a little bit of an issue with some of that not being secure enough or sturdy enough to support a roof. So Mr. Bowen is going to be meeting with Barry and discussing, you know, what can be done and how we can help.
Thank you. Anybody else?
You're welcome.
Any questions, comments? All right, Kate, LPN subcommittee report, Mr. Diman.
The LPN subcommittee met today and we were reviewing what to moving forward with the LPN program. As most of you know, we did suspend our full-time day program for this coming school year currently due to staffing issues. So it was a question of where do we go from here? In discussions with, you know, the committee members, Mr. Bentley, Mr. Kitchen, we're looking at moving forward with a full-time day program only for the 25-26 school year, which will be located on Duval Street, where we still have another year of lease. It would be probably the most advantageous program to do financially for us, tuition-wise, Chapter 70. We'll be able to use the space that's in place currently. And then next year, our lease will be coming up anyway, and we have to advertise out for new space potentially, moving forward to put it somewhere else, or maybe stay where we are, downsize at that point in time, see where we're gonna be. We currently have staff in place, finishing up this year. The part-time program will be graduating in June. The staff that is here now want to stay on board and are willing to stay on board, and will be enough staffing to handle a group of approximately 30 students for a full-time day program, so we would not have to hire any others. And I mean, we're 65 years in. I had no idea this program was that old. 65 years we've had this program. So to let it go, I think is a mistake, and I think we did a lot of kids an injustice when we had to suspend this program, not because we wanted to, but we had to. And I think moving forward, we need to re-implement the program and make it work somehow.
Just to add to what Mr. Deegan said, 2 nursing homes approached me and they begged, please don't let that committee not have the LPN program, because they've had a lot of our diamond graduates. They still work for them and they want to continue to get diamond graduates. So, their LPNs is a very, especially in nursing homes, very well, in doctor's offices. So they asked us, please do not lose this program.
All right. The recommendation to accept the LPN subcommittee recommendation, a motion. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. The policy subcommittee report.
Okay, the committee had a couple of different policies, one that we sent back to them, they're gonna bring it back next month. But one that we, as a committee, wanted to bring to the full committee tonight is, first of all, we have, skipping the top one, graduation. These are all MASC legal updates and guidelines that they keep renewing. And we have always, I went over all these, it's basically just staying within the MASC guidelines, and we've always approved whatever they change. So this, I would ask the committee to approve these MASC updates. Also, Mr. Chairman, I'll turn this over to Mr. Bentley. The graduation requirements, there was a couple of words, credits in here that were misread and misspoken in the past, so you just want to update that, Mr. Bentley.
Yeah, it was, the graduation requirements were not correct, as listed in 3 places, one in the policy, one in the handbook, and one on our own publications that we do. I turned it over to Dr. Warren, to Griffin, our Director of Guidance, to please go back, let's unravel this puzzle and get it back together. They did a very good job in representing it, and now it is accurate to be published at this point going forward. So it is accurate. Discrepancies were similar, the numbers weren't changed, yet it was published. So I don't want to be embarrassed there, so let's get it right. And that's what they have done.
Okay.
One of the questions I had, they corrected me on it, was if you look at the second page where it says shop related 3 years, I kind of objected to that because I like to see the seniors doing this since they go on co-op, and it's the only opportunity the teachers get to see them. Freshman year don't have shop related. So that's why it's 3 years, junior, Southfield junior, senior. So our recommendation as a committee is to approve the graduation requirements and all of MASC legal updates.
All right, I need a motion on that.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Bentley, I would just say that it's so nice to see 2 of our administrators in here. They were lighting up. Remember, Joan, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They were lighting up when they were talking about this. They love working with these kids, and they love to make sure everything's correct, and they have other things that they're going to be bringing back to us. And it's great to see people so energetic and care.
So the wellness and the dual enrollment.
Yeah, the wellness and the
Yes.
that needs a little, we're expecting as a goal, we'll bring it back to the committee.
Okay, that's the update, sir.
Great, thank you. M, Superintendent Director's report.
Very quickly, the enrollment shows that we have 1,469 students, And if you do see, I've broken it down by city, town, and shop this time around, so you can see in every single shop how many of our member communities, students are in each one. Pleasantly to look at our admissions report as of the printing of this on October the 2nd. We have it's at 400, it's over now, but 400 students who have already applied for next year. That only opened up.
They haven't gone yet to
Only
schools,
opened
right?
up, it only opened up, the applications online, only opened up on September the 9th. Okay, as of today, a month later, today's date is the 10th. We have 400 students who have already accessed the application process. Now, we haven't started recruitment yet, which means we're still going to go out, put out the written material, going into the schools, sending out the mailings, doing that kind of material. That hasn't even started yet, and we're already at 400.
What are we normally at this point in time?
Well below that. Normally around this time of the year, they kind of start eking out at around 150-ish or thereabouts. If you remember last year, we topped off at 735 applications total, 400 students, and we're only a month into it, and we haven't started yet. This could be a record year. But the prospect of a brand new school, I'm sure.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah.
No school has.
Also, your reputation,
Oh,
our
absolutely.
reputation, it's amazing,
Students and want to come to Diamond, parents want to have their sons and daughters come to Diamond.
absolutely.
And it's very, very enviable. Right.
So when you say 400, does this show an interest or put in applications?
These have filled out an application. I do this because it's online. So they have filled out an application online.
That is amazing.
Okay.
Already, registration, so they're already doing. And I will tell you, I've spoken to a number of those, 8th graders who signed up. And they can't wait for Diamond to come to their junior high school so they can hear more about Diamond because they've already signed up and they're
Well,
ready to
that's
go.
great.
So it's fun to
It's
hear.
really exciting. The next item I have is the advisory board night, and I know that yourself, Mr. DiBiaseo, you were present on that night. It was October the 3rd. It was a very good turnout. The dinner beforehand was very good, and the walking around the building and seeing what was going on, it was just excellent all the way around. The department heads now are going to be submitting their report to the assistant principal, that's Mrs. Torres, in the next few weeks to get it all documented. Vision of the graduate is something that NEASC did with us last year. The concept of vision of the graduate, and this committee will be part of that, is what is a Diamond graduate supposed to look like, sound like, talk like? How do they actually, when you say you're a graduate of Diamond, what does that imply? That's called their vision. Co-op report is very healthy. Again, we're only into October. We already have 153 seniors out on co-op. And that report, I believe, is attached, one of the last pages in your packet. So we are in pretty decent shape, to say the least. Last thing I do want to mention is that comes from our math team. They have been selected to participate. Now, they didn't apply, they got selected in WPI's 34th annual invitational. They're going to be going there on Friday, October the 18th, and they're competing for a chance to earn $1,000 scholarships to Worcester Polytechnical Institute. So that's very prestigious. We hope they do well. And that's my report.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions, comments?
Good job.
Yeah. Moving on to the calendar of events.
Calendar of events, October, we know Monday is Columbus Day. Other than that, things are moving along. We're getting into pep rally time. We do have on the 25th, and I will invite you that if you really want to see students enjoying themselves, you're very welcome to come and help chaperone our homecoming dance, where last year we had over 750 students. You're very welcome to come and to observe their behavior and the social interaction. It's at White's and West Park.
I asked, my granddaughter said she's going. I said, no, that's for seniors, right?
Oh, no.
She says, oh, it's the whole school.
But it's a good one. It's only Diamond students, no outsiders.
Where is it?
It's at White's and West
Oh,
Park.
wait, good.
We have 900 places reserved over there just in case. Last year we had 700 plus.
I remember the one they had at the Venus a bunch of years ago was unbelievable.
It's a
It was
wild time.
huge.
Month of November, please keep your eye on November that we will be having our annual Thanksgiving dinner inside our restaurant coming up. Information will be out about that when it is.
Should be out soon or?
Yep, and it'll be coming out probably the first week in November, Mr. Jennings. And I do believe to point out to you that probably is just about it. We have a pep rally coming up, day before Thanksgiving. And we have our annual Thanksgiving Day game against New Bedford Bowling.
At New Bedford.
Yeah, we're playing away this year. We're at New Bedford Bowling.
We could
One
have
of these
chosen
days we'll get
someplace
back
else.
here.
We could have chosen someplace else.
No, it's at New Bedford Bowling. That's my report.
And the next school committee meeting is scheduled for the 14th of November.
Just to let you know, Mr. Chairman, so we make sure we have a quorum, I am not gonna be here on the 14th.
All right. Let's see, when it gets a little closer, then we have.
I got no idea what my schedule is, so
No,
right now I'm here.
okay.
Be at work. You
All
never
right.
know.
Any other, articles of faith? Okay. No correspondence. Next meeting is November 14th, 2024. We have a reason to go into executive
Yes, we
session.
do, Mr. Chairman, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, Paragraph 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, to conduct collective bargaining sessions, have contract negotiations with non-union personnel, individual employment contracts, assistant superintendent principal, and administrative assistant to assistant superintendent principal, Stacy Lane, also pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, Paragraph 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares, which you do. ASME, DAA, and DTA negotiations, we will rise to open session, and there may or may not be a vote.
All right, need a motion to go to executive session? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call?
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu?
Yes.
Ms. Menard?
Yes.
Dr. Nara?
Yes.
Mr. Pacheco?
All right, we're back in open session and need a roll call.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu?
Yes.
Ms. Menard?
I think I can, I'll do leave.
Ms. Menard? Menard?
Yes.
Dr. Nara?
Yes.
Mr. Pacheco?
All right, we're back in open session and the item we're voting on is the.
It's item 3.0, new business, 3.1, other matters, administrative assistant to the assistant superintendent principal. I would recommend that the board make a motion to appoint Stacy Lane as the administrative assistant to the assistant superintendent principal with a contract as negotiated.
Well, we don't make the appointment, we just agree on the contract, right?
Well,
It's a 3-year contract.
Appointment and to enter into a contract as negotiated. I apologize, Mr.
All
Chairman.
right,
Make that
need a
motion.
Need a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, need a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
Need a second? All in favor?
Aye. Get some decent food for you tonight. I know you're running, Dan. Is that right?
Where'd you put it?